All right. So we've already talked about types of gigs and, just freelance work and some of the sites and, in general. So now it's time to talk about, all right, once you have an account, now you want to set up your profile. And these are just some simple tips that I've kind of learned. I've taken a few consulting courses over the years, and I've even I don't know. I've just done a lot of research on it. I'm probably not going to be the most thorough resource on this, but at the same time, I think I'm going to hit some points that are probably going to get you about 90% of the way there. As far as copy goes and some of that stuff, but anyway, like I said, there's always more information, but I think if you hit some of these key points, I think it's going to go a long way to helping you, win some of these particular gigs that are out there. So anyway, let's look at my profile and I'll just kind of show you. First of all, we can debate as to whether it's a good picture or not, whatever. I actually had a professional photographer take some shots of me a couple years ago. I just went to a studio and we did a few changes, clothes changes or whatever. And these have been great. I've been able to use them in a lot of areas. It's probably a time for an update, maybe some new clothes or something like that. But anyway, put something that looks really professional in there because, if it looks like crap, nobody's going to be, I don't know. I just don't think anybody's going to take you seriously. And it's going to be, you're not going to get as many things. Because I know when somebody comes to me on LinkedIn and they don't have a picture, I don't even bother with them, right? So I know some people do use their logos. That's fine. You could do that too if you wanted to, but I just like this approach because you're a human being and people like to work with human beings. So anyway, next thing on the list is going to be the title, and this is a big one because this is what everybody's going to see. There's also searches that that happen in the background, like when people are looking for freelancers. So you want to put something in there that tells you exactly what you do. Like for me, I slipped in honest in there because I figured that's a quality somebody wants in their consultant, right? So, and I am. So it's not like I'm lying because I feel like I am pretty when I've been told that many times. But then I go on and I put like stuff in there because I do AdWords, I do Facebook ads, and I do music marketing strategy. So these are things that might make me, they say after you build up some clout, and after you kind of get some work history under your belt, that Upwork will factor that in, and then they'll start moving you up in the search rankings on Upwork. So when somebody's looking for music marketing, I would think that I'm probably going to be pretty close to the top, and because I've already been invited to people just specifically asking for me. I didn't even have to fill out a proposal. Well, I had to fill out a proposal, but I didn't have to use up, you only get so many credits per month to apply for jobs. But if people reach out to you, then you don't have to use those credits. So I guess long story short, you want to put keywords to whatever it is that you're doing. If you're a songwriter that helps write songs, you put that in there. If you work with Pro Tools, music production, put that in there. Studio guitar player, whatever it is. Writer, bio writer. Put that right in there, and you'll see some more success. Also, this is kind of a inside tip that I learned from somebody, and I have to say that it works pretty good because I've had some of my people. Some of the clients that I work with and even some of the people that I've just given out, consultations to in the beginning, they've always noted like, wow, you've got, those are some great testimonials. So that's what I've done. I've been working in consulting for a couple of years now. So what I did is I kind of mixed in, somebody said lead with testimonials, because people right away when they start reading about you, it's like they're not necessarily, why not hear it from people that you've worked with in the past, right? Who better to hear how good, for somebody else to find out about how good you are than from somebody else. So that's what I did. I put testimonials right at the top. They'll read through them and then they'll be like, oh, this guy sounds like he really knows what he's doing. And then and then you get down here, and then that's when you can, go through like, okay, this is what I'm all about. And again, you want to make sure when you're doing this stuff, and you can copy this, if you want, you just go check out my profile. and just, I wouldn't say copy it. I mean, you want to make it specific to you, but you just want to show the results that you get for people, because nobody cares, ultimately, like, how good you are at this. They do. But really, I mean, I just really focus on, like, my service delivers results by increasing your traffic and sales. I specialize in music, but can work in any industry, in any niche. You just want to get across to them that you know what you're talking about and that you're very focused on getting them results, right? So that's kind of the approach I took, and it's the approach I kind of learned from some other people that, there's a few Upwork people that I kind of follow that have blogs and all this other stuff that, they make six figures easily just working on Upwork. So I figure they kind of know what they're doing. So I kind of go off of what they say. And then you go down the profile here. You're going to want to try to get people to leave. Oh, like, look at this. Here's one of the musicians I worked with recently. So you're going to ask them every time to kind of leave a review for you. So now this is showing up on my profile page. So you're going to want to include some of that, and you're just going to want to do a good job so people do leave you good stuff. Also, too, I don't have a lot of this stuff on there. I was just like, I don't know. I was kind of lazy about this just because I got a lot of stuff going on. But really, if you're doing a video or if you're doing graphic design or whatever it is, I mean, you could go and drop that in here. Maybe you have a video of you playing guitar, maybe some of the tracks that you've played on in the past, maybe some of the tracks you've produced. You could put stuff in these portfolios. If you got any certificates, there's tests that you can take. They're not always free, so careful with that one. I know Freelancer charges you like $5 for like every test, and it just gets expensive. But you can go and take tests. I would have like about a dozen more on there if when Elance became Upwork, they like totally just frickin', I don't know, all my tests disappeared. So I'm kind of pissed about it. I should have had a lot more on there. But definitely tests is something you might need if you want to prove that you can speak English and all that sort of stuff. And then throw some of your employment history in there, maybe, if you got that, if it's read, So I would just try to fill it out as thoroughly as you can, because it's all going to help. And again, lead with testimonials. Oh, and then the last thing here I was going to kind of show you is, one of the things that you're going to have to set is your hourly cost. Now, I wasn't at $49 an hour the whole time. I actually started closer to 30. And the way I got to 30 is like they say usually if you're pricing your hourly rate, maybe start with, what you make at like a regular job or whatever you figure your time is worth times 2. So I don't know. I figured $15 to $20 an hour is kind of what I was thinking at first. So then I just doubled it, and I just started at $49. So I would maybe go look around and see what other people are asking. I would not lowball yourself. I would try to stay, in a decent range that you're comfortable with. I mean, don't work for free necessarily. I'm going to show you a strategy here in a minute where you can kind of overcome a higher cost per hour. But honestly, don't kill yourself, because you don't want to like put $10 an hour on there and then you're competing with, maybe if you're worth $10 an hour, great, and you're willing to do that, great. But I'm just saying, like, if it's going to like be a drag to accept the job because you're only making $10 an hour, it's like, I would advise against it. And like I said, I started low, but I've been kind of creeping it up as I've been getting busy. Like I'm starting to get, my hours are starting to go up. I've had some jobs. I'm starting to earn some money. And this is, over a couple months of, part-time work. But I've been seeing that I've been able to bump up my hourly rate. So I've been kind of doing that, and, it's just something to think about. You can also bid by project. It really kind of depends on what the client is looking for. They sometimes will ask for hourly, and sometimes they'll ask for a project rate. Just figure that out. So anyway, that's it for this video on the profile. Yeah, I would just kind of look over mine. I mean, you can visit my freelance page and kind of look it over if you want, or just, but the main thing, like I said, title, picture, try to get some testimonials in there as fast as possible. And like I said, I got some good ones down here. I might even move one of these up to the other level here. So anyway, there you go. In the next video, we're going to talk about some proposal tips, because you're going to want to bid on some jobs. So let's show you the right way to do that.